Thanks, Morindi. And women in some of the major metropolis in Douala in Cameroon are visibly divided around the new Women's Day Fabric 2023. And now with the price having galloped from 6,500 francs to 10,000 francs, officials of the Cameroon textile industry are blaming that to high cost of raw material and transportation. Beatrice Ngamo went downtown Yaoundé to find out the enthusiasm around the new fabric.
The rush for the Women's Day fabric has started early, but unfortunately, effort yielded no satisfactory result.
Et ça, c'est normal. La femme rurale va faire comment?
Ça me déçoit beaucoup. On vient, à 10 heures, il n'y a plus les pannes, mais on est en train de vendre les pannes. La maman a raison.
On vend par connaissance, par visage. D'un peu regarder le prix là, c'est gros.
The general cry is the new price tag on the 6-yard tissue, which some years back were sold at 6,700. Now it is at 10,000 at the SICAM distribution and sales centers in Yaoundé. Inflation, the officials of the textile company says, has also had its toll on raw material like transportation.
Il y a quelques années, il y a quelques mois, nous achetions le coton à 900 francs le kilogramme. Aujourd'hui, il est passé à 2000 francs le kilogramme. Les intrants chimiques, les colorants textiles, aujourd'hui ont augmenté sur le marché international. Et les colorants et les intrants que nous commandions par bateau il y a quelques années, aujourd'hui nous les commandons, nous les transportons par avion.
The diehards of the fabric say the unique color and improved quality this year what has charmed them to hustle to acquire theirs, as the price difference is not that great, they claim.
On va faire comment, puisque les femmes avec l'histoire de 8 mois, c'est comme la drogue. On va se battre, mais Louis n'est pas transparent et la couleur est belle.
From Monday to midday this Wednesday, for example, over 150,000 pieces of fabric have been sold, reiterates the regional delegate for the Center, East and South. To the high demand, the national textile production industry reassures of equivalent supply.
Thanks, Beatrice Ngamo. We stay with you as you are reporting that sub-Saharan French-speaking African countries are meeting in Yaoundé for a 3-day regional seminar on budgetary transparency. And of course, these auditors will be controlling public expenditure, as you report.
Partnership between Cameroon and the World Bank, International Monetary Fund, European Union, France, African Development Bank, and many others is also around resources and the management of these resources important. The control and audit of public expenditure are a major issue in ensuring the reliability of information on the issue of public resources management.
It's not only because we receive money from partners, but we have to manage our resources quite well. Those audits are very, very important, and we are going to continue to do that. When I say the audit, I don't mean only the audit done by the institutions you know, but also the audit that is made by the public. And you know, the public is represented by the parliament, and we have what we call budget citoyen. That means a format of our budget that is accessible to everybody, so every citizen to understand what we have in the budget, what we have to do, and what the public has to do as a control of the government.
The focus of the regional seminar on budgetary transparency in sub-Saharan Francophone Africa in its second day today. Governments have become aware of the need to have a better and more comprehensive knowledge of information underlying fiscal policy and risk, and to make it accessible to anyone with legitimate interest. The participants, representatives of 19 sub-Saharan Francophone African countries, will exchange experiences and discuss on challenges related to strengthening public financial control and audit. Worth recalling here that the issue of audit and control has become increasingly important for the International Monetary Fund. The analysis of public finance management matters.
Beatrice Ngamo, thanks very much. Beatrice reporting there from Yaoundé. Monique, we stay in Yaoundé, particularly the central region where the budgetary year has been launched in the central region.
Effectivement, l'année fiscale 2023 du Centre régional des impôts, Centre 2, eh bien, elle a été lancée à Yaoundé par le gouverneur Nasteri Paul Beya au cours d'un atelier avec des contributeurs pour expliquer un plan d'action qui permettra d'atteindre les objectifs. D'autres précisions avec Delphine Fonkouténé et Constant Kamga.
Objectif, 142,3 milliards de francs CFA à collecter en 2023 par le Centre régional des impôts du Centre 2. Des efforts supplémentaires à consentir pour faire face à l'augmentation de 18,5 milliards enregistrée par rapport à 2022. Obligé d'élargir l'assiette fiscale.
Nous avons sollicité l'appui des autorités administratives, des autorités municipales, des autorités traditionnelles et toutes les forces vives pour que, effectivement, le Centre régional des impôts du Centre 2 au 31 décembre 2023 puisse réaliser les 142,3 milliards.
À l'occasion du lancement ce 25 janvier à Yaoundé de l'année fiscale 2023 au Centre régional des impôts du Centre 2, le gouverneur Nasseri Paul Biya invite les contributeurs à respecter leurs engagements.
Je demande à tous les contribuables, les prestataires de la région du Centre de tout faire pour payer à temps et déclarer leurs impôts pour encourager et pour l'atteinte des objectifs de ce centre.
Le Centre régional des impôts du Centre 2 veut ainsi jouer pleinement sa partition en vue de l'atteinte des objectifs assignés à la Direction générale des impôts en 2023.
C'est Boudjé, la suite du journal avec vous, Henri Kedjan Atembe.
As part of efforts to promote fish farming or the fish farming sector and to enhance local fish production in Cameroon, more young people are being trained on the techniques inherent in fish farming. And some of them in Douala, particularly with the passion of aquaculture, have been upgrading their skills, as you are reporting. Ambo Gladys Diban.
Gaining more knowledge in fingerlings production techniques is the objective of these young people who have a passion for fish farming and want to excel in the domain. They are also gaining skills on how they can sustain in the activity. Fish farming is important for young people. We are training them on how to grow fingerlings, which are needed for production, and also the reproduction of eggs to fingerlings. I am here to improve my knowledge on fish farming. I feel blessed to be here because with these engineers present, I will gain more knowledge in the field. Unfortunately, fish farming is developing slowly in Cameroon in spite of calls by the government for Cameroonians to produce what they can consume and consume what they produce. But the sector seems to be given little attention.
La filière piscicole a besoin d'être développée.
The fish farming sector needs to be developed, vulgarized and supported to definitely take off, amongst others, by ensuring it is practiced by locals to fight against hunger. The capacity building for these young people is part of efforts to improve fish farming, increase fingerlings production of the different fish varieties, and help reduce importation of fish in Cameroon.
Thanks very much, Ambo Gladys Dibang. Let's talk South-South cooperation, and we're talking about trade. Cameroon and Algeria have actually created what is known as the Cameroon-Algerian Business Council. The protocol was signed to that effect by the head of the Algerian Chamber of Commerce and that of Cameroon. It was signed alongside in the presence of businessmen from both countries. Details in the following report.
Algeria and Cameroon have established a business council to foster trade between both countries. The South-South cooperation between Algeria, that currently ranks as the fourth economy on the continent, and Cameroon, that occupies the 15th position, will permit both countries explore opportunities in areas of agriculture, tourism, and technology. The protocol creating the Algeria-Cameroon Business Council was signed in Douala on January 25, 2023, between the Algerian Chamber of Commerce and the Cameroon Chamber of Commerce, Industries, Mines and Craft.
The convention we signed today, our concern is not to sell the finished product of Algeria or this country. We will do that. But more, we need to get a convention, to get a, what we can say, a technical assistance to process our raw material in this country.
With the putting in place of the African Continental Free Trade, the Business Council will be of benefit to businessmen from both countries.
We have many opportunities in the future because I present myself to the chief of the delegation. She said that She will build a cooperation between the young entrepreneur in Nigeria and young entrepreneur in Cameroon.
The Algerian business delegation and their Cameroonian counterparts have agreed to work in 8 domains. Algeria was the 11th African supplier of Cameroon in 2021, having exported goods worth 19 billion CFA francs.
And we talk health with you, Monique.
On parle des soins de santé primaires, plus ou moins à la hauteur dans certaines formations hospitalières à travers le pays. On pointe du doigt le manque de personnel, le mauvais accueil qui contribue, entre autres, à faire fuir les malades dans certains hôpitaux. C'est le rapport rendu public par des acteurs de la société civile à travers un travail réalisé en 2022 au Cameroun. Il propose en outre des thérapies qui s'y explorées et exploitées par l'autorité gouvernementale en matière de santé publique et de ses partenaires contribueraient à soulager les malaises cités plus haut. Karel Mezatia-Choya.
Les soins de santé primaire sont essentiels dans les thérapies curatives, préventives et même promotionnelles des patients. Mais les méthodes, techniques, pratiques scientifiquement valables, entre autres sur lesquelles ils reposent, sont malades dans nos hôpitaux. Ils souffrent notamment du manque de personnel et du mauvais accueil. Ça éloigne les personnes qui ont des altérations de santé des structures sanitaires.
On a mené une enquête où on a demandé à la population pourquoi vous préférez aller vous soigner peut-être à la maison ou acheter les médicaments à la maison. Ils nous ont fait comprendre que parfois quand ils partent dans un centre de santé, il n'y a pas de personnel parfois et l'accueil n'est pas chaleureux et ils préfèrent se soigner à la maison.
Ces acteurs de la société civile ne se sont pas limités aux bobos qui fragilisent des établissements hospitaliers du pays. Des pistes de solutions qui, si explorées par l'autorité gouvernementale en matière de santé, pourraient soulager ces souffrances, également au cœur de leurs travaux de recherche.
Il est essentiel qu'on ait les besoins et les difficultés que la population rencontre pour pouvoir formuler des politiques publiques qui sont adaptées à leurs problèmes.
Entre autres recommandations de ce plaidoyer dévoilé à Yaoundé hier mercredi 24 janvier 2023.
Yeah, we talk health, primary health care, of course. This is enshrined in the 2023 health agenda where civil society organizations have urged the government to take appropriate measures to improve on the quality of primary health care centers in the local communities. They have decried the deplorable state of some of these facilities, which they say are very dangerous to the health of the communities. The civil society organizations actually have made their findings as Haisinchia reports from Yaoundé.
According to Action for Development and Empowerment, 42% of primary health care centers in 5 regions of the country do not have drinking water, 31% operating without an alternative source of electricity, 15% of such healthcare facilities functioning with single toilets for both men and women, leading to easy transmission of diseases, 10% operating without a laboratory nor modern equipment, while 21% without doctors and 52% of such units have never received COVID-19 vaccines. The advocacy visit findings presented in Yaoundé this January 25th with major recommendations to permit government ameliorate the situation.
We encourage the government to at least give generators in the primary healthcare services so that they can function with or without a power light. And we also encourage them to pay a note on toilets. Sometimes we forget about the importance of toilets and differentiate for male and for females.
Another major disturbing phenomenon is the rising attitudes of consuming roadside drugs with doubting status. The civil society activists urge the powers that be to take appropriate measures.
One of our recommendations was the government to see on how to reduce the cost of medication in grassroots communities because these people are more exposed during pandemic.
And in a panel discussion, they equally reviewed the national health policy and well-being of vulnerable population, as well as citizen participation and access to information in the development of health policies at the local level.
African solution to fight HIV and AIDS and other infectious diseases plaguing the population is the raison d'etre behind a memorandum of understanding sealed between the Central Bureau Foundation or International Reference Center on HIV and AIDS and the Redeemers University of Nigeria, Yaoundé. The goal is not only for diagnosis and therapy, but then to seek for solutions through vaccine. Details with Beatrice Ngamo.
So, internationally recognized African research centers, the Central Bureau International Reference Center on HIV/AIDS in Yaoundé, Cameroon, and the African Center of Excellence for Genomics of Infectious Diseases of the Redeemers University, Nigeria, committed to advance research on HIV/AIDS. The Memorandum of Understanding sealed to that effect purely to exchange ideas. CIRCB taking genomics from Nigeria, Nigeria profiting from CIRCB numerology.
This collaboration will be beneficial to the two centers. We are more into infectious disease like Lassa fever. Also, we deal with this COVID-19. The center here is dealing with HIV disease.
Against the backdrop that Africans can together find solutions to their local problems, such as HIV and AIDS and other infectious diseases plaguing their population. With this joint force, they can develop new generation diagnosis, therapy, and why not vaccine.
We had just had to seize the opportunity, especially with what COVID taught us, working in the area of infectious diseases, so we can start collaborating with Cameroon and Nigeria. What affects Nigeria affects Cameroon.
The director of CIRCB, Alexei Njolo, signed for his center, while the Consul General of Cameroon to Nigeria, Elizabeth Manga Besem, and the Vice Chancellor of the Redeemers University of Nigeria, Anthony Akinlo, signed for the Nigeria Infectious Disease Research Center. This in the presence of the Director of the Center, Christian Happy.
Thanks, Beatrice Ngamo, shutting the doors of the 1 p.m. Bilingual News. We've been Kejang Henry at Timbe and Monique Nausi. We thank you graciously for always being there with us. Monique, good day.
Good day, Henri Kejang Atembe. Mesdames, Messieurs, merci de nous avoir suivis. Nos programmes se poursuivent demain 13h. Nous serons à nouveau des vôtres pour le même exercice. Bon après-midi sur Canal 2 International.